I think of all the war inside my head.
My name is Tudor. I grew up in Broomfield, Colorado. Pretty much my entire childhood was coded in music.
I think of all the things I've in my head.
I released my first music as a freshman in college and played a few shows. Music was always an escape for me, maybe less of an escape and more of an entry into your own little world.
I think of one battle in my brain.
I wrote Better Days the first week that I got down to LA, and I was feeling like I was well on my way and that the hardest part had been completed, I
just can't help but wonder. Just can't help but wonder.
And so that song is about going from a bad headspace to a much better headspace. The better days can only come if you are having harder days.
Lost without a trace.
So my accident occurred as I was leaving a concert in Long Beach. I was crossing the street and I was struck by a car as a pedestrian. I flatlined multiple times, and so they were forced to put me into a medically induced coma. After I woke up, I remained in critical care, really fighting for my life. I definitely thought that I would never make any sort of music ever again. My only relationship with music was listening to the playlist that my girlfriend made me. It's helped me get through some really dark times, but music did keep me going, even though I couldn't.
Found better days.
Sorry.
Found better days.
I finally got to the point when I did go to Craig Hospital. It was exactly where I needed to be. And from the moment you enter that building, the message is clear. Your life is not over. Your injury does not define you, and there's so much that you can do to continue to live a happy life. And of course, the first thing top of mind for me was music.
In the Assistive Technology Lab at Craig Hospital, we're a team of occupational and speech therapists, and we work with patients to help them use technology that they're motivated for, and also learn to use technology to access other things in life that they're motivated for that they might not have thought is possible.
As soon as I was introduced to what the quad stick can do, I said, hold on, I could definitely produce music with this thing.
I gave him a tool, and I felt like it was almost the next day I came back and he was like, oh, I recorded this song.
It almost felt like a huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders. I had always thought of myself as a creative, and I had always felt like that was my purpose. It's difficult to put into words the joy that brought to me. It became more about how can we aid the creative process now?
Well, music therapy is an allied health profession that uses music interventions to address functional, non-musical goals. And at Craig, we use it in neurorehabilitation. So we would go into the chapel and then do the work to work on the diaphragm, speaking voice, singing voice.
My right diaphragm is paralyzed, which took away a lot of my vocal capabilities. There is an angle when I lean back in my chair where I can project a lot better, and I was able to do vocal takes. I'm about a week away from my discharge here at Craig, and this is a beat that I made. So I can do pretty much everything I used to be able to do.
The Craig graduates sharing their talents tonight are a true example of the brilliance and resilience of the human spirit. And our next artist is no exception. It gets teary. I had the honor of meeting and working with this individual 2 years ago, and since then have been eagerly awaiting the day for his return to the stage. Please join me in welcoming back to the stage Denver's very own Tudor Arvente.
When he was here, he told me that his goal was to be back on stage, and it was really special for me to see him back on stage and see that dream happen for him.
When Tudor got up there, he just took command of the stage. He was just a natural.
That is how I interface with the computer. Great, but how does that turn into music? This is what's called a DAW, a digital audio workstation.
And he also gave a presentation and shared how he produces it and explained it to everyone. And the audience was so captivated and so pulled in by both Tudor and his music.
I'm craving for more.
The reactions that I got from the crowd that night were amazing.
Thank you so much.
It lit even more of a fire under me to continue to create and continue to share, even in such a changed format.
That is so important for other patients, other people to hear and to see how he does it. I think that's really inspiring to see somebody really doing amazing things.
I didn't let this trauma define me or what I can do artistically. We're creating something that has a sense of permanence outside of ourselves. It's almost like a beacon of light that you've created for someone else to gather around, maybe warm their hands, or think about the way that what you've created makes them feel. And I hear a lot of people say, I wish I was an artist, I wish I was creative. You are an artist. I promise you that. You have a perspective that nobody else has. And I encourage you to share that perspective.